Hey guys, it's Jeremy here with Metal Music Bad Now, back with another video. I'll do a really quick video today, guys. I just wanted to do my most anticipated albums of 2021. And again, this is my list, so if you don't see a band on here that you don't understand why it's not here, it's just based on my taste and the kind of bands I'm really looking forward to seeing releases from. First, I'll begin quickly with bands that have already released music thus far, because it's almost April now. The reason I waited this long to do the list was I wanted all the rumors to kind of trickle in to see what kind of set dates were released up till this time. And it gives a few months for bands to kind of confirm that they're in the studio or have music coming out this year. I find if you do a list like this in January, you don't have enough information to really make a good enough list to what is really strongly rumored to come out or has set dates. So what I'll do quickly, I just want to get into the bands that have already released music this year. And I'll talk a little bit about some releases at the end of the video that have already come out and like what I'm looking forward to the most overall. So very quickly, bands that have released music already. January 22nd, Asphyx with Necroceras released their death metal album. And on the same day, Nervosa with Perpetual Chaos was released, and all-female thrash band. On January 29th, German Legends Accept released Too Mean to Die. On January 29th, Tribulation has a new album, Where Blue Becomes the Sound. And old school shock rocker Alice Cooper with Detroit Stories came out on February the 26th. New release from Rob Zombie on March the 12th has already been released. And so that's kind of the ones up till the now. And a few more that have set dates going forward thus far. April 16th, Cannibal Corpse with Violence Unimagined has a set date for the Death Metal Legends. And the last recording of Lexi Lehau, Rest in Power, his last recordings before he passed away with Bodom After Midnight EP will be released on April 23rd. On April 30th, UK thrashers Evil has their first album out in 8 or 9 years, I think it's been, entitled Hell Unleashed, so that might be interesting. One of my favorite bands, April 30th, Gojira with Fortitude. Love this band. I'm really looking forward to that one. And I think that's all the ones that have set dates out of the bands I wanted to see myself. And then just to ream off the bands that are either rumored to be in the studio, have possible kind of album titles already, or 80% chance of releasing music this year. I'll go through the list really quickly. These are the kind of the bands that stood out to me. Megadeth, Ozzy, Anthrax, Ghost, Rammstein, Mastodon's a big one, At the Gates, Abbott, Merciful Fate and King Diamond are supposed to be putting out albums this year. That's a double dip from King. And Bay Area Thrashers Exodus, I'm pumped for that one. And Violence, first album in possibly almost 30 years. That should be crazy. I'm kind of really looking forward to that. German Thrashers Creator. Ginger is supposed to be working on their fourth album for this year. And metal icon Scorpions are supposed to be putting out a record this year as well. So based on all those bands with already set dates and have already been released and rumored to release albums this year, I kind of compiled, based on those bands, my top 5 anticipated albums of the year. And number one, as soon as I heard they had rumored to release music this year, was definitely Exodus. As soon as I heard they were putting out an album, that was my most anticipated album of the year right away. I fucking love Exodus, love their sound, they never disappoint. Close second was Gojira. They already have a set date. I love the first single already. And this is another band that when they release new music, I pick it up every time, no matter what. They always put out solid stuff. Number 3 for me would be Mastodon. Progressive metalers always put out great albums. Some people don't like their last few albums as much, but there's nothing in their catalog I haven't enjoyed. And number 4 has a set date, Cannibal Corpse. I'm not the biggest death metal guy, but every time Cannibal Corpse puts out a record, I'm always blown away, and I love every record they put out, especially the last 3 or 4. Excuse me. have been really solid. These guys always put out solid stuff. Number 5 is kind of tossed up between two bands. First I thought of Creator. I love Creator, German thrash, a little on the heavier side. But then when Accept was releasing a new album, I'm like, fuck, I love Accept. So kind of Accept and Creator kind of tied out at the bottom of my list for number 5. So I guess you could call that my top 6 for 2021. But there's a lot of great bands in here that are putting out stuff that I'm really looking forward to. The 2 from King should be really good. And yeah, there's a lot of good stuff looking at this list. To talk very quickly about the stuff that's already been released, focusing on the first 2 albums of this year, Asphyx and Nervosa blew my fucking mind. I love both of these records. Asphyx is my number 1 album of the year right now for the first like 3 months, almost 3 months, sorry. It blew me away. I listen to that album at least 3-4 times a week. I haven't got a physical copy of it yet, but I've been listening to it on YouTube. And that album is definitely my number 1 album of the year thus far. But it'll be in my top 5 at the end of the year for sure. And same with Nervosa. Like, I wasn't sure how their album was going to sound with the new lineup, but Perpetual Chaos fucking blew my mind. I've been listening to it all the time as well. Those 2 albums are my number 1 and 2 albums of the year right now, and I can't get enough of them. They'll both be in my top 10 for sure, probably more than likely in my top 5 at the end of the year. And the other one that's already been released, I'd say that really kind of stood out was Accept. Just really catchy stuff. Great old school metal sound. Accept is amazing. I always loved their releases, and this was a great album, and I've been spinning it quite a bit. It's right up there as well. I'm pretty sure it'll be in my top 10, probably top 15 to 20 for the year for sure, but probably top 10. And other than that, I'm really looking forward to hearing all of the Cannibal Corpse coming out shortly. And yeah, like I said, Gojira and Exodus are the 2 that I'm kind of really waiting for to hear the rest of their albums. But that's pretty much it for me, guys, for my most anticipated list. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, hit that subscribe button below, give it a thumbs up. Just trying to build that metal community. And list below any albums you agree with me, or what you think of some albums that have already come out this year, or some of your most anticipated albums of 2021. Drop a list down below of your top 5 or what you're looking forward to this year. Until next time, guys, keep it metal.